Hey everybody, on today's video, it's not going to be a good one. In today's video, I have some bad news. I'm having a lot of trouble with the distributor, and I'm having a lot of trouble, getting the engine to start after I was doing something with the distributor. I was actually doing quite a lot of things with the distributor. Why I started focusing on the distributor is I thought that maybe the reason why the engine was missing is maybe it had something to do with something inside of the distributor, right? So I took it apart, not quite took it apart, but I took off the cover, and I kind of thought that maybe the primary lead, which goes from the inside of the distributor after it connects from the coil, and then goes over to the post on the side of the points on top of the wire that goes over to the condenser. And what I did is I took it out and I put in another one that I bought a while ago. Like I bought one a long time ago, but I never put it in because it wasn't the same length and blah blah blah. But when I was putting it in, I noticed that the hole that was in one end of the wire that goes over top of a screw, which goes and attaches onto the screw nut post, or whatever you want to call it, the location that the coil wire attaches onto, I had to kind of drill it out a little bit because it wasn't big enough. And so I drilled it out. I managed to get it on. And the coil, that primary lead, what's called primary lead, it wasn't long enough. Well, it was, but it wasn't as long as the other one. But I had to like stretch it out a little bit, and it didn't really follow the same pathway as the other old primary lead did. And but anyways, I got it all connected, and I put it in, and then I tried to start it up, and I got a whole lot of nothing, and there was basically it made the kind of sound that your car makes when your battery's dead, right? And so I kind of thought that maybe I interrupted the circuit, that the electricity has to make for everything to work. And so what I did is I took it out, looked at it, kind of fixed it up a little bit, put it back in. What I did when I fixed it up a little bit is I just like secured the connection a little bit better, even though it was tight. But I think that because it was so messed up from what I did by drilling out that small hole and the little end of the wire, the fitting that clips onto something, I think that maybe it just wasn't connecting. And so yeah, so after that, then it started working when I put it back in and turned the engine over. What it did is it made like the usual sound, like right, like when you're starting your engine but it's not starting. But what I noticed was happening is it was kind of making a backfire sound. But it wasn't like a bang, it was more like a piff. And it was like, I looked at the carburetor, this new one, and the carburetor had a whole bunch of like gas all over the top of it, and it was all black and sooty. And I didn't think that looked good. But anyways, so what he did is he took out the distributor again, took it back inside, unwrapped it all, like took it all apart. Not all apart, but I just put the old primary lead back in there, which also involved moving around the points and stuff like that. But I put back in the points, everything was good, etc. As far as I know, probably not, I guess. And yeah, I put it back in, and I kept on getting that sort of backfire behavior, but it wasn't a bang, it was just a piff, right? And so I had the intuition that maybe all the spark plugs were wet, and maybe I wasn't getting spark. So what I did is today, what I did is I took out all the spark plugs, and I looked at them, and they were indeed wet. They were really wet, so I dried them all off. And so what I wanted to do now is check for spark. And I got the board there. I cut a hole in the paper I got in the window there for the protective from the welding. And yeah, I just tried it out. I just tried it out, and it made a really interesting noise. I've never heard the engine ever make that noise. And it's kind of, it's not really that big of a deal until it is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you what it sounded like, and also how there is a spark. There is a spark on that spark plug. I saw it. So here I go. All right. Okay. So yeah, that's the sound I was talking about. Oh yeah. But anyways, it did have a spark. I just don't have the alligator clipped, hooked onto the ground. But yeah, so all the connections are tight, but I really think that I might have fucked up something inside the distributor. I don't know what it could be. Yeah, so hasn't been a very good couple of days for me and the Rambler. Yeah, hasn't been a very good couple of days for me and the Rambler. But all the spark plugs, they all kind of, like, some of them, like that one. That one looks kind of dark, but like some of the other ones don't look as dark, but it's not very noticeable. So yeah. But anyways, so yeah, so I'm gonna put the battery on the charger. I mean, who knows? Maybe the battery's maybe I cranked it over too much and maybe there's not enough juice. I don't know. But I'm definitely gonna put the battery on the charger here in a couple of minutes. And yeah, so since I can't do anything about that right now because I'm going to charge the battery, I'm going to just focus on more welding. Alright everybody, 1958 AMC Rambler Super, part 103. Thanks a lot for watching everybody. Wish me luck.